Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast, No More Secrets. As always, I'm your aunt, Mary Albrecht.
And I'm your niece, Katie Albrecht. And today we do have it's a little bit more of a serious topic, but we do want to first show off a couple new things. We have our new sign in the background, as you guys can see. Or if you can't see, then go to YouTube and then see it, you know?
That's true. I forgot about those people listening.
Yes, there are people listening and not just watching, but
it's
shown
to check it out
on our YouTube channel, yes. We got a new neon sign, and we think it's really cool, and it's really adds some spice to the studio, you know?
And people say it reminds me of Victoria's Secret.
Why did you say it like that?
Because everybody keeps talking about, oh, it's Victoria's Secret. Oh, it looks like a brothel. Oh, it looks like... And no, it's just a bright pink
it's
sign,
just strip
people.
Club.
Oh, there you go. That's what it is. Oh, as a matter of fact...
It's just a strip club. It's not a brothel. We don't do that here.
Okay, you guys, look. And it's got a remote, and it can flash, and you can speed up the flash.
Oh, gosh.
Look. That looks like a strip
club. Don't look if you have epilepsy.
And then if I change the mode
if you
again...
did it, can you do it so fast like a strobe light?
I think so.
Whoa. Yeah, that's kind of like, it's like a strip club, but also little Halloween, too.
Okay.
With a strobe light.
Now watch the next mode.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, it went even faster.
Wow.
Okay, wait. Try this one. Wait.
Oh, I can't even look at that.
Oh, it's not working. Oh, wait,
it's
I go back to
pretty.
this. And then I slow it down, and then I go here. Oh, nope, that didn't do it. Okay, here. Ooh.
She has no idea what she's doing. And now she set up some feedback on the remote.
So never mind.
And holding it right up to the mic.
It can also fade. Oh, never mind. Anyway.
It can also fade, does the exact same thing.
Oh. There we go.
You can hear it in our mics.
Okay.
Anyways.
See?
Very nice.
And then it can also dim.
Who gave Mary the button?
I know. Sorry. Okay, forget it. Okay, we're back.
Okay, but you get the gist. We have a new sign.
Okay.
Not only that, we added some new shelves, some decoration and stuff, so I think we kind of look professional, right, Mary?
Well, I mean, I thought so with the shelves. Do you know these are called floating shelves? You know why? Because you can't see any brackets, and they look like they're floating. They're just magically floating up against the wall.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that today.
Did you see that Travis told the audience that we should say hi? Tell the audience I say hi, and he put the emoji with the hand going like this.
So Travis says hi to you all. You guys have seen him on the show.
Oh, it's not like that.
He also is one of our producers.
That's true. We have people.
Mm-hmm. We have people.
I just love that.
Yes. So
there's that.
That's new.
And yeah, the shelves, and then we have more merchandise coming that will.
Yes.
The shelves will change. So.
Yes, they will change. But yeah, and then I also. Okay, so Mary and I have been talking, and obviously we've been doing this for like a little over a year and a half or something like that now.
We have real deep talk.
And really deep. And I think you guys have all seen that Mary has difficulties with pop culture references.
I don't even know what pop culture is.
It's things that are popular. That's it. That's
I mean,
like movies, TV shows, artists, like that kind of stuff. So I thought it was my job as her millennial niece to educate her on some common pop culture references.
She claims that this podcast simply cannot go on anymore.
Because it cannot.
Because every time it gets referenced, I go, what? And it interrupts the flow.
So I'm here to help you, though. So
Okay.
I came up with a couple of questions of reasonably well-known quotes from various different things.
Okay, but remember, I'm the one that doesn't even know the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek.
That's why it's funny. So I thought, okay, I will say the quote, and then I'll give you multiple choice answers.
Oh, yay, then I have like luck on my side, maybe.
Yeah, it's a combination of, it looks like TV shows and movies that I put in here so far.
Okay.
We haven't even touched music yet, so that's for another time.
And is Disney included? Because that's
I'm not going to say. You will find out. Or maybe you won't. I don't know.
The listeners will.
Yeah, the listeners will do it. So, okay, before we get to our topic, which we'll discuss later.
This is much more fun.
I will give you a couple quotes.
Oh,
So
shoot. Okay.
I'm going to start you with I think it should be an easy one.
A. Choice A.
And, well, I am not going to, wait, they're not even lettered. Okay, I confused myself, but it's okay. No, we're all right.
All right.
What if it was actually choice A? Would that be like, oh, I'm going to switch the questions, you know?
Choice A.
Okay. I think this one's pretty easy. It's very well known.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Here's your quote, okay?
Okay.
I just can't wait to be king. Your options are Black Panther, The Lion King, Game of Thrones, or The Crown. I'm just laughing.
Oh, come on. They're all related to kings. That I know about all 4 of those.
Oh, man. Yes, you do. But where's the quote from?
I have no idea.
Okay, what is your, I'll do...
Say it again. Yeah.
A is Black Panther, B is The Lion King, C is Game of Thrones, and D is The Crown.
Lion King.
Bravo, Mary! Good job!
So the only reason I thought
Seal
that...
of approval.
So the only reason I thought that is because it's such a simple line. Like, I just can't wait to be king. Like, I don't see them saying that in Game of Thrones.
You never know. I mean, it is Game of Thrones, so they're trying to figure out who's going to be king.
But doesn't that seem like a kid-like thing? I just can't wait to be king.
Right. And most people know that, too. But I thought maybe I'd throw you off. That was an easier one.
Okay. Yay, 1 for 1.
Good logic. Excellent.
Good logic. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to do this.
Okay. So the next quote is, this might be a little bit harder.
Okay.
It is, I am inevitable.
Oh, jeez. I have no clue.
I bet the listeners can already know what it is.
Really?
And stuff. Is this Divergent, A?
I don't even know what Divergent is.
It was a very popular book and also movie.
Okay.
Is it Avengers Endgame, B?
No clue.
Is it Hunger Games, C? Or is it D, Les Miserables?
Jeez. I haven't seen any of those, and I haven't heard of 2 of them.
You haven't seen Les Miserables, even
No.
with Hugh Jackman's in that.
Oh.
I think you should see Les Miserables, yeah.
Good to know. That's my guy.
Okay.
I don't even remember the choices because I've never seen them.
Okay, A is Divergent.
Okay.
B is Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
C is The Hunger Games. And then D was Les Miserables.
Hunger Games.
Incorrect. Would you like another guess?
What was the question?
I am inevitable.
I am inevitable. Okay. Do I get 2 chances?
You get another chance, yeah. You got it.
I still don't remember the first 2 because I've never heard of them. How about Les Miserables?
Still no.
Incorrect.
Still incorrect.
Now, am I supposed to remember these, like, going forward? Is this
Yes, there's going to
me,
be a quiz on
like,
every
at
episode.
the end of the month or something?
Yeah, every time I see you, I'm going to just go through all the
Okay,
references
so the
and
one I
stuff.
know so far is I can't wait to be king. And that I just can't wait to be king.
I just can't wait to be king, and that is The Lion King.
It's
To give you the
Disney.
story, that is a song that Simba sings when he's a little cub.
And that's a Disney thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with
You
you.
officially know Disney.
See, I'm well versed now.
Okay, so the answer to that one is, so I am inevitable is from Avengers Endgame.
And what is Avengers Endgame? Is that a movie or a series or?
Have you heard of the Avengers or like Marvel?
I have heard of the Avengers.
Okay, so this was like they had like a series of movies with superheroes, and Endgame was literal like the end of several movies long storyline.
Was that the last movie?
It was the last movie of that era.
Okay.
Yeah, they have more movies coming out now,
So
but it was very big deal.
Who in that is inevitable? I want to know.
Thanos.
Oh.
Should we go into it?
Well,
Thanos is like, he was the big bad guy. in it. He was
Okay.
trying to destroy half of the population of all the universe.
So he's like Darth Vader in Star Trek.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you might be thinking Star Wars.
Wasn't Darth Vader the bad guy, though?
He was the bad guy, yes.
Okay.
You were almost there. You almost nailed it. Which is just funny. So yeah, there you go. Thanos is the bad guy in Marvel movies.
Okay.
So you might hear that again and be like, oh,
Thanos.
wow, I got this.
Marvel movies.
Yes. Wow, you're so brilliant.
And Avengers Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And he's inevitable.
He thinks he is.
Okay. I am inevitable.
He was wrong, but...
Oh, did he get destroyed?
Yeah. He, yeah,
Spoiler
he was a
alert.
little cocky. Yeah, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it 3 years ago when it came out.
Like most people have.
Right, yeah. Okay, so one more, and then we can actually get into more serious stuff and everything.
Oh, okay.
It's just one word.
Okay.
Always.
Oh. That's a pretty broad word. Always and never.
Okay, your options are A, Harry Potter, B, Legally Blonde, C, Lord of the Rings, or D, Mean Girls, which you now know the title of but haven't seen the rest of it.
Okay, so I actually saw Legally Blonde.
Oh.
I did.
Wow.
That's with Reese Witherspoon.
Was this an iconic line in it?
I don't recall that. So I'm going to eliminate that one.
Okay.
And what were the other ones? I mean, I remember Mean Girls, but the...
A was Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, always.
C was Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Is that your final answer?
I don't know why. Because isn't Rivendell from Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Okay, yay.
Yes. But always is not.
Okay, so I get one more choice, and I'm going to eliminate
That
Legally...
means you have one of two options left. You have Mean Girls and Harry Potter.
Mean Girls. Wrong.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Remember when I started this whole thing saying choice A? I should have just gone with that.
You should have just went with choice A. It would have been safe for this one.
Harry
yeah.
Potter. Now tell me why Harry Potter said always.
He didn't say it. Severus Snape did, and he was a guy that was in love with Harry's mom, but was mean to Harry while he was growing up.
Okay. Kind of like a
And they
pseudo
always-
stepdad?
No, not at all. He was actually very mean to... He was a professor at Harry's school and was very mean to Harry while he was going through his school there and everything. But he was in love with the mom, and it was like a big thing at the end, a big reveal, and the line that showed it was always. Like, after all this time, you still love her, and he says always.
Oh.
Yes. Real sappy shit, you know? But it is a very, like, well-known line for Harry Potter fans.
For Harry Potter fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like the fact that you're able to, I mean, maybe most people are, but it seems like you're really good at remembering details about all of these movies and things, that it's good brain exercises. You know, even if it's just fiction, remembering it and telling the story and remembering the names is good for your brain.
Yeah, I got a good brain.
Yeah.
What can I say?
And so, I mean, when you're like my age, in your 50s, and if you can still do that, or even if you can't, watching things like this and then being able to recite it is like doing a crossword puzzle.
Probably, because
You
it's
know,
the same
like for
thing.
the
You're
brain-
thinking of, like,
Yeah.
crossword puzzles are pop culture references as well. They can be.
What?
They can be, yeah. There's a lot of, variety. I think they have, like, politics and also
Oh,
pop
they have
culture.
references in, I see. I thought you meant the actual crossword puzzle was pop culture.
No, not usually.
Okay.
No, but, like, the questions that you're answering are, like, pop culture questions.
Okay, so now I'm going to review.
Yeah.
Okay,
can
so
you recite all of them?
The Lion King, I just can't wait to be king.
Mm-hmm.
I am inevitable.
Yep.
In Avengers Endgame.
Mm-hmm. Who says it?
Famous.
It sounds like you're trying to say famous with a lisp. Famous.
That's not who
It's Thanos. Close. You were close. And then always.
And then always was Harry Potter, and it was something with his mom and this guy being mean to him but not to the mom and loving her always.
Yes, and it was a big reveal at the end of the book series.
And what was his name?
Severus Snape. Or Snape, you can call him.
Snape?
Yeah. That was me.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm the popular one this time.
Okay. This time.
So anyways.
Oh my gosh, that is so much fun.
I thought that was a good way to start getting you used to pop culture references without actually watching the movies and stuff. So
yeah, because
now you're going to be an expert on it.
Okay, so next time when we do this, I have to recite the first 3. How's that?
Good luck.
Which would work for 2 episodes, but once we get to 9, forget it.
I'm amazed that you can do 2 episodes, actually. So yeah, we'll try it. We'll
I have
see
a
if
good
you can
memory.
do it.
I do have a good memory. So.
Yes, you do. Famous.
Famous.
Famous, yeah.
He's so famous.
Oh, he's so famous. Gosh.
The other thing we wanted to do is just talk a little bit about stuff that happened to us in this week. And Katie and I.
Oh yeah.
During the week, and Katie and I both took vacations.
Right. I went to Port Angeles and the Olympic Peninsula, and you went.
I went to Port Pinter,
which is basically the same thing, right?
It is.
Well,
So,
you had trees, right?
there were trees. And
I
there
had
was,
trees.
And there was air.
I had air.
And there was wind.
Did
like
you have
with the air? It blew it.
You had wind with the air. I
There
had
were
wind with the air.
birds.
I had birds. Did you see any spiders?
No spiders.
No, I had the better vacation.
There was Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc. Does that count?
Oh, that's vacation.
That's like in
yeah.
nature, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's from a vineyard.
From a vineyard. But really, what happened is I went to somebody's. This isn't Porch Pinter, but I went to another client of mine's deck to visit her because she had kidney stones and she was out and all that. And I took a break from my crazy life and I went and sat on her deck, which is on Gage's Lake, for an hour. And when I was done, I said to this woman who was 80 years old, I said, "Wow, I feel like I've just been on vacation." And she says, "That's pathetic." Because, an hour on somebody's deck shouldn't be like a vacation. But for me, it's now becoming a thing, and I'm starting to house hop.
Nice.
And only staying for like an hour, hour and a half, because that's all I have. Not making it a big deal where, okay, let's bring Terry, let's get dinner, let's do all that, because Terry, it could be last minute, okay, I'll come for an hour, but he doesn't feel well enough most of the time. But I still need some breaks. So I did that at that one client's house. I do it at my friend Jen Leisure's house all the time. I just pop over for like 45 minutes. And then I did it with Porch Pinter, which is my friend Nancy Pinter's porch. It's a beautiful porch. And it was just a little getaway, but it was like, don't get me any food. Don't, just a glass of wine is fine, a little conversation, a little break from the mayhem. And that I'm calling it my vacation. And that's as close as I'm going to get right now. But nevertheless, it felt like it. Pathetic or not, it wasn't pathetic Porch Pinter.
With the alliteration. It's nice.
But you actually did go to the Olympic Peninsula, which
I did.
Yeah, which is
where I saw trees and wind and
she rolled her ankle, and
I did roll my ankle
got
like a
sick.
true Katie fashion. The first morning that I was there, I stepped off of the steps onto the grass and then rolled my ankle like right after that. First morning.
First day.
And we were supposed to go on this was like a big hiking trip. And you can't really hike when your ankle is, twice the size that it normally is.
So I know there was one hike you couldn't do, but were you able to do others after
I was
that?
eventually, but that morning I was completely.
What'd you do?
Anything.
Just go ice at the?
Well, my friend continued on the hike, and I found a brace. I went to the town to find like an ankle brace to like.
You found like a Walgreens or something, or do they not have those there?
They don't have. I don't remember Walgreens. It's such a small town. We went to Forks, Washington, which is where Twilight books take place, which is another pop culture reference.
And they did a video
We did
mimicking Twilight, and I don't even know what the heck Twilight is, but whatever.
But the video was funny.
But it was
though.
cute. Yeah, it was really
thanks.
cute.
No, yeah, that was. We went to go see it because we liked Twilight when we were younger. I don't recommend it as like good quality literature, but I like the.
Oh, you mean it's something not current?
No,
Twilight?
it came out when I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Which is
so
a long time ago now.
Which is a long time ago now. Yeah, it's at least 11 years.
Whoa.
Isn't that wild? But yeah, so I went into town, which is very small. There's no like Walmarts or Target. There's no like big things like that. And I just went to their local store that had clothes, groceries, and sports stuff.
That's funny. That's like one of those just overall kind of.
Because there's nothing else, for
so
miles
they try
and miles
to put
and
everything
miles.
in there. Maybe a candy bar at the cash register.
Yeah. So it was like an everything store, and I was able to get an ankle brace and was, I think, up and running for the rest of the time that I was there.
It was actually pretty bruised, that ankle. When you got back,
Yeah,
it was like a week later. It was still bruised.
I've just gotten to the point where the swelling's gone down and it's no longer purple, but it's almost there. It's almost fully healed.
Sprained ankles are the worst, you know.
Yeah.
They take a long time, and then once you sprain them, they want to be sprained again, and
Forever, pretty
yeah.
much the rest of my life. Yeah, at this
Right.
point.
Unless you get an ankle replacement. Do they do those? I don't think so.
I don't know. It might
They-
be too small of a tendon or something. I
They
don't
do
know.
knees, shoulders, and hips.
Yeah.
And I know somebody who's had all 6, 2 shoulders, 2 hips, and 2 knees done.
It's a whole new person.
Whoa, it's like the Bionic Man.
Pretty much. Hey, look at you.
Well, see,
you
no,
know things.
I know. See, do you know that though?
No.
Come on. Oh no, the $6 Million Man. That one.
What is that?
Um,
I've heard it, but I don't know
Yeah.
the actual, like, what it's about.
he was in a really bad accident, and they said, "Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We can make him stronger than he was before. Better, stronger, faster." And then they rebuilt him, but then they used the government agency that rebuilt him, used him for combating crime and stuff, because he was like super strong and super.
Was this a real thing that happened, or was it?
I think it was fake.
Oh, it was a movie. Okay.
Yeah.
You made it seem like it was like a
Lee
real
Rogers.
reference.
Oh, what was his name? Anyway, he was married to Farrah Fawcett for a while. Do you know Farrah Fawcett?
Yeah, she had big hair, right?
Yes, she did.
Was she on Baywatch? Was that her big thing, or?
She was on Charlie's Angels.
Oh, Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, that was her big thing. But then
Similar.
she also did, look at me. She did a movie that she got nominated for. I guess what do movies get? Emmys or Academy Awards, right?
Oscars, yeah.
Oscars. So she, The Burning Bed. Have you heard of it?
No, educate me, Mary.
Well, I never watched it, but I know that she did it. But she did a really good job. She was an abused wife, and she faked her own death, I think, in by burning her bed and putting like what looked like some other corpse in there, somebody that was already dead, and it's kind of like Sleeping with the Enemy, you know. Look at me! I just know that.
You've dropped like 5 references
I've
in a
also
row.
never seen that one.
And you see like the blank stares that go over my face, like, oh yeah.
But pop culture isn't this isn't pop culture.
No, it is.
But isn't it old?
Still pop culture.
It is?
Mhm.
Even though it's not what's popular now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, yeah, you just get into like the current stuff or whatever, but
Okay.
anything movie or anything like celebrity related is probably
Pop culture?
pop culture,
Like
yeah.
Friends.
Like Friends, yeah.
I did watch Friends for a lot of those seasons. That was really
Nice.
It was really different back then when it was, really a different kind of show
Yeah.
when it first came out. But it's still great for reruns,
Oh, I still watch it before bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
we quote Friends a lot here.
That's
I
good.
don't ever remember, the quotes that everybody quotes, but they say it's from Friends. But I remember watching Friends. I just don't remember the quotes. No, whatever. Okay. My microphone's pulling on me. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Anyway, I know it's so fun. What's funny about this?
Fun.
This isn't even our filler episode. We got another
I know,
one of this coming.
We actually have content or like real things that we were going to talk about.
We just felt like sometimes we just want to.
We want it to be lighter.
A little bit lighter, at least at first, because we really have a good time together, me and Katie, and so it's we laugh a lot, and we want you guys to laugh with us. I think I mentioned that we would always try to have a clinical approach to the episode before, but that there may not always be a therapist or a clinician available. And we weren't able to get it scheduled for this week, but we want to do a little bit of, synopsis and discussion about Marisa and Julie's story. I mean, Marisa, who had the cancer. And so we decided, Katie and I, that we would just do a little research of our own and talk a little bit about it, but we're not therapists, we're not experts. But we would like to definitely talk about what that must be like to be her, and I'm talking mentally, emotionally, and clinically at this point. And by the way, thank you, all of you listeners. I mean, we've gotten great
a lot of good feedback from her episode,
and a lot of listeners, and more to come. So it was a really good story, and they all talk about how Marisa was so poised, and she's only 19.
That blows my mind. Yeah, she carries herself with much more maturity than most 19-year-olds that I've met.
And I guess maybe having cancer does that to you, or maybe she was always that way, but...
Little bit of both, yeah.
A little bit of both. But I don't know, what was your impression of the whole the way the story unfolded? Before we get to the clinical research, maybe we could give our personal impressions of her story, and just how it affected you. For me, seeing someone with cancer so young, always when I'm talking, always. So sorry.
I don't even have a drink to do it back. I'm just going to start breathing into the mic every time that you talk.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to be quiet.
I'm whisper knocking it in. But yeah, so with Marissa's story, I think it reminds me of the people that I've known to have cancer very young, and I've known a few people.
You've known quite a few for...
Yeah, I've known a few people
age.
that have had some sort of cancer that were close to my age or around it, and not that it's fair for it to come when it's older, but when they're younger, I think it's a little bit scarier because you didn't live your life yet. And
yeah.
I think that would be harder to deal with, that the possibility of this going badly, it always makes me think of my friends. And I've said before that I've had a friend that had, actually 2 friends that have had brain cancer that have passed away.
Ugh.
That are my age, and it's it's
that blows my mind.
I know, it's really sad, but it's also encouraging to see people like Marisa who have survived it and now can help other people that, like my friends that were going through that, and even if it was a totally different ending, you can help people even if the outcome isn't what you want.
Definitely. And maybe people that knew those people too. It's nice, isn't it nice, for instance, for you to hear about a happy ending with a teenager versus your friends that didn't get that happy ending.
That didn't get that ending. I mean, I do have friends, also Travis is one of them, that is a cancer survivor and a young cancer survivor, so it's all over the place. I mean, cancer doesn't look the same in two different people, there's a whole spectrum of...
And it's funny that you say that
things.
Because, okay, this is hard with that, but one of these, one of the pieces of research that I found was interesting is that they said that more and more adults are survivors of childhood cancer. It is, and this is from...
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is from University Oxford University Press, and this person that is writing this article is a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, but it's Oxford University Press. And she said, and this kind of scared me actually, because she said, it is estimated that by 2025, 1 in every 250 to 400 adults between the ages of 21 and 44 will be a survivor of childhood or adolescent cancer. So 1 in every 250 to 400 will be a survivor of childhood or adolescent cancer. So the adults are between 21 and 44, but they had cancer as a teenager or a preteen.
Yeah.
And that seems like, it seems like a lot. Like, what is, why is it that we're getting so much more younger cancer? Or maybe we're just, what she said is that it's not really a new thing. It's just that no one else ever researched it or documented it before, because you don't usually follow kids with cancer as often as you do, the statistics with older people. Because it just, kids with cancer is like, oh, well, they'll get over it. Well, no, but they don't,
Yeah, not always.
necessarily.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you say, it's interesting that you say that cancer, it's all different shapes and sizes, and it doesn't discriminate against age and, income or anything like that. So
I feel like there's got to be a way to, like, why is it happening more? Is it stuff that we're eating?
Well, so
Is it stuff that we're putting on our body? Like, what are we doing?
Terry weighed in on that because, he's got this awful cancer, but we also have a lot of friends that have cancer, and a lot of people that know a lot of people that have cancer, and he feels like it's definitely the air quality is what he feels. It's not the food as much as the air quality that is affecting everybody because of climate change. It's everything is too warm or too flooded and too dry, too on fire. If you think about it, do we really have air quality very, very much in any of the places because of all the extremes? The really extreme heat, 120 degrees, 125 degrees. How's that air quality? How's the air quality in California with all the fires? How's the air quality with the floods and all the mold and all the stuff that comes with that, And so he feels it gets related a lot to that.
Maybe even chemicals too, because we're...
Oh, yeah.
We're not only... the air quality isn't just from natural things. We're putting stuff on our lawns. We're using cleaning product after cleaning product, especially nowadays with COVID.
Oh, see, right? Yeah.
That's fine to have clean stuff, but what is that doing to us?
What is that doing? And then we have a guest coming on soon to talk about being a farmer, being a local farmer.
And there's some changes that he's seen, yeah.
With all of the chemicals that are done with the large crop farming. And what that's doing to the quality of the soil and certainly the quality of the air. So yeah, the chemicals. Is
I think he's going to have a lot of interesting stuff to say about it, but
yeah. So and so where do you go with that? Right?
Yeah.
What do you do? The air quality. Well, there's a lot that can be done, but it's very slow. So I think we need to address it for sure, which is why we'll talk about that when we have that guest on, because it can cause cancer big time.
I'm thinking about my trip to the Olympic Peninsula, and when you're surrounded by mountains and trees, it was, the air out there, you can just feel a difference. Like,
so fresh.
I tried to take deep breaths to really soak it all in, because I'm like, oh man, I love this so much. Just being in the, the wilderness and everything. It's just so much better than suburbia.
And then you mentioned
where there's a lot of people, because there's not a lot of people there.
And then water. The water was so clear. The lakes, right?
Oh yeah, that's another interesting thing that I did. Is the water was clear and blue, and I scooped it up and couldn't see anything in it, but I used one of those filter straws to drink from a wild creek that was coming down from the mountain.
Oh my gosh, did it taste really fresh?
It was the best water I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, and that's a new core memory for me, because I've always wanted to do that. Obviously, I use the filter. Don't go just drinking from a stream if you don't know the water is safe or not.
Okay.
It's more than likely not. but it's
They have a filter straw.
it's called a Life Straw. And
Okay.
We're not sponsored by them or anything, but it's
Yet.
it's like $20 on Amazon.
Okay.
So then you can drink any kind of water. I think you can even water that's dirtier than that.
Wow, I didn't know that. A life straw. Okay.
Yeah, and it's water that's just untouched. It's just from nature. You know, like
Oh my gosh, I can't even
that's
imagine.
that's some good water. Some
Being
high
able-
quality H2O, you know?
You don't even need it in a bottle. You just drink it right from the source.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely I think the water that, everything that we have, I mean, I guess what we can do is minimize how much toxicity we put into our body so that we can combat it better, but that's a small thing we can do. But definitely
But it's something that everybody could do.
everybody can do.
Like
Yeah.
we don't have to put all this like crap into our body.
So
Is it enjoyable? Yes, sometimes. Like I love chocolate and sweets and stuff,
and
but
moderation, blah blah blah.
yeah.
But do you remember when the pandemic first hit and everybody really wasn't driving places? That all of the waters around here got clear, like Butler Lake by our high school here got so
I didn't see it personally, but I've heard that.
clear. Yeah, everything, like all of the lakes, even Lake Michigan, cleared up from people not driving, people not dumping crap in when they drive by,
Yeah.
not just throwing everything in there, and it just
I will say that that summer of 2020, I think we had like perfect weather the whole summer.
exactly. See,
Perfect. And whereas it had been rainy and cloudy and like kind of all over the place in previous years, all of a sudden when there's not as many people driving, like things just seemed nicer.
Yep.
And it could be mere coincidence, but it could also be something,
Terry and I sat and looked at the sky and we're like, there are no planes or anything, helicopters, nothing.
Oh, because you guys
In
live
the
right by a
sky.
small airport, right? So you used to see
Yeah.
them?
Oh, all the time, and they weren't there. And
Yeah.
then it was just like, whoa, this is weird. Like
Yeah.
nobody was flying,
Yeah, it is
And,
weird.
I find it comforting to see people flying again because life has to go on. I think
Oh, I agree.
and you
We can't live like how we did during the pandemic all the time.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
mean,
not
that was
realistic.
that was like generations ago where people lived like that and took their horse over to somebody else's place and whatever,
Right.
but like the modern world is what it is.
Yeah,
But I think
it's
we
not
can-
going to change.
We can minimize
It will to an extent, but like there's no way that we can like reset everything that the way life is.
exactly.
You know?
Just go back to horse and buggy. That would take care of a lot of pollution if we took all the cars
You got to
off
start
the-
breeding more horses then. I don't think there's enough anymore.
Exactly. But so I actually just wanted to wait, and again, we're not experts, but I really was thinking a lot about Marissa's post-traumatic stress, and saying that they've told her she has it, and what again this Oxford University article talks about was that a lot of times when you're a teenager and you've had cancer and you get past it, everyone expects you just to go on with your life now. You're young. Go ahead. Go live your life. Like Marissa, go off to college and da da da. And it's not until later when the stresses of adulthood start to really really kind of come into play, where they start thinking, oh, I got to get a job, I'm graduating college now, I maybe going to get married. That's when the PTSD really kicks in if it hasn't been addressed. But they're not emotionally equipped as a kid to address it then. And I think that's an interesting point, because it says the emotional price to pay for surviving cancer seems to coincide with normal increased stress of young adulthood, when people are setting out on careers and spouses and children. They reach a point where developmentally they realize cancer happened to them, they survived it, but it could happen again. And I thought that was an interesting topic.
So yeah, sorry. Something that I looked up on cancer.gov that's kind of similar to what you're talking about is they have like points of like common things that kind of happen with cancer survivors.
Okay.
And one of them is know that it's common for cancer survivors to have fears about every ache and pain afterwards,
Okay.
which is kind of along the lines, I think, of like PTSD, because you start to analyze and overanalyze like everything that's going on in your body, and sometimes it could be normal, and sometimes you fear the worst for it.
You flash back to your trauma
Yeah.
from your ache. Or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
From a seemingly normal ache probably before, because a lot of people that I've talked to of cancer survivors was that it wasn't like, they were kind of normal pains at first.
Okay.
Like, they weren't obvious, right?
But then it became, like she had the swollen lymph nodes, Marisa.
Right, which is, I get
And she
swollen lymph
thought-
nodes
Yeah,
all the time from being
exactly.
sick. So, like, it's kind of, I don't know, you kind of have to separate or be careful about it. You like be aware, but also, figure out a way to put your mind at ease a little bit.
And live in the moment. I mean, I guess one of the benefits of cancer survivors is they do get scanned regularly. So,
Right, that's required to, yeah, by their doctors or whatever.
is there more on that list than that? Like,
This is, I mean, this was under like the talk to your healthcare team. They were just saying that it's good to be open about these concerns with your doctors.
and don't be called a hypochondriac. I had cancer. Like,
I've had the worst of it, like
exactly.
I know what to look for, and go in with confidence. If it makes you feel better about it, then you should definitely be talking to your doctor about it.
And hopefully they don't poo-poo you. I'm imagining they don't, and not anymore.
I can imagine they don't.
This day and age.
Yeah.
They also said that certain smells and things trigger memories of the hospital. So, for instance, I actually found a little quote here from Foundation for Childhood Cancer. And this person had Hodgkin's when she was 15, and Marisa had it when she was 17. Look, I did it to myself. And she said, I had Hodgkin's when I was 15. I tried so hard as a freshman in college to put it behind me and get on with my life. It just didn't work. Next to treatment, that was the worst year of my life. It showed me that if I didn't deal with it consciously, I was going to deal with it subconsciously. I had nightmares every night. I'd wake up feeling like I had needles in my arms. Once I started dealing with it, things improved. I had a wonderful English composition teacher that year. I actually wrote him a thank you note telling him that upon reading my journal, I came to realize how much I put into his hands. So, and then this other person said she had cancer when she was 19. It recurred at 21. She has frequent nightmares. She sits up in her sleep screaming, and her fiancé tells her about her nightmares, but she doesn't remember. She also wakes up with any sounds remind her of the hospital. For instance, that crinkly sound the hospital beds make when you move reminds me of getting transfusions. If I hear that crinkly sound in the night, I wake up really scared. So those are the things that I'm curious with Marisa going forward. Now she's off at college. She's, resuming her life. And, that I wonder if things are going to affect her that way. And if not her, maybe somebody else. But the sounds and the smells of the hospital. I mean, you spend that much time in a hospital.
And hospitals smell so sterile and so...
And they just...
It's very distinct. Like,
Yeah.
I think it could bring you back, even if you, step foot in it for a second.
Yeah, and so, I mean, more power to her because she's a tough girl. And I know she'll be okay either way because she'll seek help and do all that. But it's a good topic to think about, that some of the trauma happens later when you have other stresses. Like when you're recovering, and now you're resting and I'm over it and da-da-da, but then all of a sudden you got these other stresses, and then you start freaking out over that sound and that smell and that. And that's
Karma's coming back to you.
Oh, shoot. And then the same person went to a Halloween haunted house and had an anxiety attack because the flashing lights felt like she was at the hospital on Ativan. She started breathing fast and hard, her heart raced, and she had to leave the haunted house and go home. So that's interesting.
What was the haunted house? It was just because it was
Halloween. She went to a haunted house, but she had an anxiety attack, and because the flashing lights made her feel like she was on Ativan, which I don't know what Ativan is. It might be a painkiller or something, but but all the flashing lights that come with your, IV poles and things like that, and the and the Ativan maybe gave her a trip, which you know how that feels.
Good thing we were flashing our sign earlier, but, right?
Okay, I'm not going to.
You mean like
there.
this?
Anyway, yeah.
For the first 10 minutes of this episode.
But there's a thing where it fades and then it pops back up, and I think I might have gotten it once, but I don't know. I think it's the remote belongs to the millennial, not just the pop culture, but the remote.
Mary, don't touch anything.
Yes, do not touch the computer.
Hey, do you guys think that we should make T-shirts that says "Mary, don't touch anything"? Please let us know in the comments of YouTube.
Especially this,
Technology, and I mean technology or anything that
that
a boomer aunt could mess up.
That exists. Don't touch anything.
Feel free to let us know.
Speaking of touching things, though, as you see, I am drinking wine, and that's because we are recording in the evening. So it's in my window of time where I'm allowed to drink wine. But I'm still adhering to my goal of a bottle or less a day, which is really good for me, sadly.
No, it is.
But for me,
I've
it's
seen
good.
you drink.
Yeah. So I like being clear-headed, and I drink it slowly, and I've only had the one glass here, and it's still got stuff in it.
This is the difference between our tolerances, because if I drink a bottle a day, drink a bottle right now, my head would not be clear.
I know, this is my clear head.
Just a bottle that's it. And I feel clear-headed.
Just one bottle.
No, I would be the opposite. I'd probably have a 2-day hangover or something,
Well, because, you don't practice anymore. Like in college, I think you had a really good tolerance, right?
Yes. I don't know if I could do a bottle and not get drunk, though.
What about beer at the time?
Beer, I probably had a better tolerance for. I could drink more of. Because that's what I drank.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Yeah, we had a lot of beers. There are a lot of dollar bottles up there,
Wisconsin. I just love Wisconsin.
Can I share the Barnes & Noble thing?
Oh, yeah.
Because recently...
Oh, my God.
Recently, Aaron Rodgers has been talking on the Pat McAfee show, and he is saying about all these books that he's reading, and they're doing an unofficial book club where they talk about a book each week. And Pat McAfee is a typical jock where he's yeah, I don't read. It's just kind of funny, dynamic. But yeah, so Rodgers said he went into the Barnes & Noble, presumably in Green Bay. He didn't actually say that. And he's been saying that every time. And now, since then, there's been lines out the door in Green Bay Barnes & Noble.
People that probably don't read at all. They know how to read, but they don't read books.
But he's in, that's just, I think that's so amazing when someone of his, status, says he reads, all of a sudden people are wanting to go read, I think that's
Are they
awesome.
wanting to go read, or are they wanting to go
probably
look
to go
for
see him?
Aaron Rodgers and pretend like they're shopping?
But maybe they'll stumble upon a book while they're in there.
And maybe will they
That's
actually
half
read
the problem
it,
is getting there, right?
It's true. True. Oh my God, but that is funny.
I think that's really funny that it's just crowding the Barnes
and those employees are what the heck happened?
Yeah.
Why is everybody here now?
Yeah. I know, it's just funny. There's no guarantee that he even went to that Barnes & Noble. He could have gone to a different one.
He might have been, up in one of his locations where he was practicing or playing, or just on vacation, or
could have been anywhere. Yeah, it could have been in California,
but Wisconsin.
But the Green Bay Wisconsinites are up there.
Well, they are really probably the most loyal fans of football that I know.
I think they're one of them.
One of them.
There's a few that have very loyal fan base, but Packers are definitely up there.
Somebody said to me that you can't ever find another fan base that is willing to wear styrofoam blocks of cheese on their head
and striped bib overalls
in striped bib overalls
to the games,
and proud of it and not uncomfortable. I mean, the block of cheese on your head, styrofoam or not, seems to me it would be warm,
Well, I mean, it gets pretty cold up there.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what
It
is.
helps, yeah.
But they're wearing cheese on their head.
Oh, okay, so I love the Packers, obviously, but the color choices of the uniform, like green and yellow,
It's not even
It
green
doesn't-
and gold. It's green and yellow.
if I didn't love the Packers, I wouldn't like those two colors together.
Together.
I think.
Green and yellow or green and gold?
Either one.
Yeah.
Probably officially green and gold, but people use green and yellow also.
We had green and yellow at my grade school, Butterfield School. Green and yellow. Yeah. Felt like you were always a flower.
Like a dandelion. Not a flower, but I'm a weed.
I'm a weed, and that's the Packers' colors are. They're not real threatening when they're a weed.
But they've always been good, at least in my lifetime.
They've been good, and we're gonna hope for a little bit better because they've played one game.
Oh yeah, they played really bad.
And I guess
as
they
of the
played
time of
bad.
recording, I think by the time you guys hear this, they'll have played another one.
Oh, okay, got it.
Or
Yep.
yeah,
Yep, because they play this weekend, right?
they play on Monday, which is when. So later tonight, when you hear this, we will see if they play better or not.
Unless you listen to it on Tuesday.
True. Good point. Good point. All good points.
Anyway, Marissa and Julie, we thank you so much. There's been such wonderful feedback.
Yes.
Actually, Marissa,
you guys are really inspiring people.
Yeah, and we'll definitely stay in touch with you. And Marissa said that her school wants to play it, the YouTube video in their chapel, for everyone to see Marissa's story. It's a small private college, and they wanted her to speak there as an inspirational speaker.
What was the name of her school again?
Judson University.
So shout out to Judson if you guys are listening right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope they do play it because Marissa said, I really am not, she's talk about stresses. She's bowling 6 days a week. She's got her course load. She's still trying to get her energy back.
I don't know how people, do all those things together, but like, how do you even just do a college sport and also do your homework?
Exactly.
And then to also have all this stuff going on, it's just...
all of that. And then she, and then she was asked to talk, and she said, look, I don't have time to prepare a speech for the class here.
Right.
But I did a YouTube podcast, so they're like, let's air it. So hopefully they've done that, or they will do that, and, like us on something. Maybe we need to have a quiz thing about
Hey, whatever you're watching us on.
social media.
Yeah, social media will be in the next one, I think. Yeah, sprinkle it in with more Lion King references. See if it works.
I just can't wait to be king.
Yes, it's a great song. You should check it out.
Oh, it's a song?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, that's why I thought it'd be obvious. It was one of like the big songs of the late 90s.
I've never heard it.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, so does
Anyway.
that paint a picture for you guys? She doesn't know The Lion King.
I don't know Disney. I know, I've heard of Bambi, and I know that's a deer.
Good job. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Katie wanted to get me flashcards. She's going to make flashcards maybe someday.
Play like a Jeopardy game or something with it.
Like she's a kindergarten teacher and I'm the kindergartner.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's really sad. So remind me next time not to put the microphone behind my head because it keeps pulling.
Okay.
All right. But I think we can wrap it up, right?
We can wrap it up.
Okay.
Give us a like on YouTube or follow us and
then
see, I don't even know either. Do one of the things.
Do all that stuff. Sign up for things. And
Oh, I think we have a thing at the end of it. We definitely play a thing at the end of it.
Okay, so never mind.
You'll hear it later.
Okay.
You'll hear it in a second.
Till next time.
Till next time. Thanks for listening.
Thanks
and
for watching.
Perfect.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.